Trump comments on the state of affairs in between Russia and Ukraine.
An update into the Idaho murders that claimed the lives of 4 college students.
And how the cost of housing is shifting in Denton.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Krista Adams.
And I'm India Edwards. A tragic story out of Gainesville, Texas is under investigation. An 11-year-old girl committed suicide, and her mother says she was bullied by classmates over the family's immigration status. Jocelyn Rojo Carranzada died 2 weeks ago. Her mother says 11-year-old Jocelyn was teased at her school by classmates who insulted her and claimed her family was in the United States illegally. The mother says the other children told her daughter that they would call immigration officers who would arrest her parents, leaving her all alone. CNN's Ed Lavandera talked with one of Jocelyn's friends about what happened.
She was very nice and pretty. I loved her. Yeah. Basically, when I heard that she was gone, I don't know. It just shattered my heart. It hurt me really bad.
Did you hear kids talking about immigration and ICE and all these words that you guys probably don't know what it means?
Yeah, but not to her. I've only heard it about people that are saying that ICE was coming and stuff, but that's all I heard.
Did you know that people had been bothering her and being mean to her?
I didn't know at all. Right. If I knew, I would have told them to stop, I promise you, but...
The mother claimed the school knew about the bullying, but according to Gainesville school officials, they did not. This is a developing story, and ntTV will bring you more information about it as it becomes available.
A 16-year-old girl was arrested Tuesday afternoon after plotting a mass casualty attack. The teen was caught in early planning stages of her attack through a series of social media posts. The posts were of threats to use guns and pipe bombs to target fellow students at a Houston high school, which is a third-degree felony. She was detained within 30 minutes of the FBI gaining this information and is being charged with terroristic threats.
We have a major update in the case of the murders of 4 Idaho students carried out by the suspect Brian Kohberger. Kohberger was charged with the murder of 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022, but his attorney on Wednesday asked the judge to suppress evidence against Kohberger. The evidence they asked to suppress was gathered through warrants and investigative genetic genealogy processes. Judge Stephen Hippler denied that these requests, stating that Kohberger's defense did not meet legal standards to challenge the evidence, and his constitutional rights were not violated.
This morning, I got in my car and my water bottle was frozen solid.
I know, it's freezing. I feel like even my long fur coat couldn't keep me warm enough.
Let's check with Emma and see if there's any hope for a warmer breeze.
Thanks, guys. Even though that extreme cold weather warning was lifted this morning, we're not going to look for any relief today. However, later in the show, I will have some more information on how you can warm up. Right now, it is 21 degrees here in Denton, but it's going to feel like 9 degrees with 11-mile-an-hour winds. Let's look at what tonight's going to look like for us. All right, so it will be warming up just a hair. It'll be 27 degrees. It's going to feel like 18 degrees. Winds are going to slow down just a little bit at 8 miles an hour. And then as for tomorrow at noon, we're going to be looking for temperatures around 29 degrees, feeling like 25, so we are warming up, and wind speeds are going to be low. That's all I have right now for First Look. I'll have more later in the show. Back to you.
Thanks, Emma. So looking forward to a warmer forecast. Let's turn to a different kind of climate, the business climate.
ntTV's Omar Najm joins us now with more on Denton housing market and what might be good news for renters. Omar?
Yes, thanks, ladies. Denton's housing market remains in a recession mode. Sales so far in 2025 are down 22% year over year, and pending contracts are 11% lower than last year. Also, the one positive note is rent in Denton has been at an all-around decline in the DFW area. could California in 20 years could Texas be the next California in the next 20 years? We will see in a bit. So Texas, or Denton has been, Denton has had a decline in, sorry guys, I'm out. Yep, it's okay.
More on Trump, Russia, and Ukraine.
And a local woman is facing a large sentence for the death of a fentanyl user. Stay with us to learn more.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DebtQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DebtQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DebtQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.debtq.org to learn more. DebtQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break?
No.
A surprising prediction from President Donald Trump, the possibility of World War III. During a meeting of financial executives and foreign dignitaries in Miami, Trump claimed that World War III was not far away.
Moving quickly to end wars, settle conflicts, and restore the planet to peace. I want peace, and I don't want to see everybody being killed. And you take a look at the death in the Middle East and the death that's taking place between Russia and Ukraine. It's been going on, and we're going to end it. There's no profit for anyone in having World War III, and you're not so far away from it. I'll tell you right now, you're not so far away. If we would have had this administration for another year, you would have been in World War III, and now it's not going to happen.
A Denton woman, 37-year-old Tiffany Chantel Vaz, was sentenced to nearly 20 years in prison for her distribution that caused a fatal fentanyl overdose. Tiffany and her co-defendant, 28-year-old Courtney Green, pleaded guilty after the death of a man we know as AF passed away due to the fentanyl provided by Chantel and Green. AF's autopsy revealed that he passed in the same year that Governor Greg Abbott signed a law stating that prosecutors can now charge those who supply fentanyl with murder.
It's election time here in Denton, and 4 seats are available for grabs in the election for Denton City Council being held in May. Filing for the election ended Monday, and now we know who will be on the ballot. In District 1, the incumbent Vicki Bird is running for her 3rd term. She is unopposed. District 2 has the incumbent Brian Beck facing a challenger, Nick Stevens. In an interesting twist, Stevens is Beck's former campaign advisor. District 3 is a hot race to watch with 4 people running for the seat left empty by Paul Metzler, who has decided not to run. Voters will choose from Kelly Smith, Karen Jill, Devaney, Margie Ellis, and Susie Rumer. Meanwhile, in District 4, the incumbent Joe Holland is running unopposed. Denton voters will have access to the polls in May and must be registered to vote by April.
I gotta say, India, I'm getting tired of this winter weather and I'm ready for spring to see those flowers bloom.
I'm right there with you, Krista. I could really use a nice summer tan after all these gloomy days of cold, rainy weather. Emma Burns has more information for us. Emma?
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately for you today, you won't be getting your summer tan on because across North Texas, we are still looking at those sub-freezing temperatures, even as low in the teens, like right here in Bowie. But right here in Denton, like I said earlier, we're still sitting at 21 degrees. Let's look across the state. All right, so as we move north into Oklahoma, it's going to be dropping into those teen temperatures. But if you're lucky and you're out in El Paso, you're going to be warming up just a hair. Houston, it's still 32 degrees. So really across the state, nobody is super lucky on those warm temperatures. But let's take a look at our 7-day forecast really quick. All right, so as you can see, we are going to be warming up starting on Saturday. We're going to be warming up to 50 degrees. Then on Sunday, it is going to be 60. So you guys might be able to get your summer tans on starting on Monday when temperatures are going to be looking into the spring. So maybe the groundhog was right, and then maybe he's wrong. We'll have to just see. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emma. You know, India, before I got into media arts, I really debated going into animation.
That is so interesting. The animation industry seems so competitive, though. I can never. In fact, Vanessa has more information on a new movie making waves in the film industry. Vanessa?
Thanks, guys. Inside Out 2 is known for being the top grossing animated film until recently, where Janelle Monáe's The Unbreakable Boy passed the movie as the highest grossed animated film in the world. CNN's David Daniel has a story.
Neja 2 is #1. The Chinese movie has passed Inside Out 2 as the highest grossing animated film globally. According to a Chinese ticket platform, it's racked up $1.69 billion, almost entirely at Chinese theaters.
Here's a cute fact. Sometimes a sad moment feels happy. And sometimes a happy moment feels sad.
It's all happy for the cast and crew of The Unbreakable Boy. The inspirational drama based on a true story, which was filmed in late 2020, is finally reaching theaters.
4.5 years later, we still have a text thread with half of our cast and crew. And so, yeah, there's a real special family connection and bond on this project that I'm so excited to share.
The Unbreakable Boy is in theaters Friday. Janelle Monáe is taking the money and running. The award-winning actress is set to star in an adaptation of Tanya Smith's memoir, Never Saw Me Coming. Smith went from teenage hacker to mastermind of multi-million-dollar heists, outsmarting federal agents who thought a black woman couldn't be clever enough to pull off such sophisticated crimes. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That is all I have for Seen and Heard. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Vanessa. After the break, more on how you can have some fun traveling this spring.
And later, how a former NFL player got himself kicked out of the city council meeting. Stay with us.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, I got it.
Mom. I have.
I'm so tired. I feel ugly. I'm not okay. I didn't know UNT had counseling services. Maybe I should check it out. This looks like the place.
For years, Ballet North Texas has held performances without sudden sounds and flashing lights for audience members with autism, Down syndrome, and PTSD. But they may not be able to do that anymore. The National Endowment for the Arts canceled its 20 to 26 Challenge America grant, which is intended to support the arts in underserved communities like Ballet North Texas, heavily relied on Michaelia Lossian, the executive director of the company. She said, "We haven't gotten any clarity whether we will still be getting this grant money or not." Now, Ballet North Texas is having to resort to other means of funding, with the grant application process being extremely lengthy and difficult. The arts leader isn't sure she'll be able to apply for other grants. Instead, she may resort to fundraising. We had some technical difficulties earlier with Omar Najm, but he has more on the Denton housing market. Omar?
Thanks, ladies. The Denton housing market has been on a steady decline as 22% in 2025, year by year, has been just on a decline also. One positive note, the rent in Denton and all around DFW area has been at a steady decline, so rent is good to go on payments. Texas has been one of the fastest growing states in the U.S., and it is a prime destination for buyers to want to move to Texas. But at this moment, the Texas rates, housing rates, have been tremendously high. And unfortunately, post-COVID, it is above U.S. average to live in Texas. Also, we have some, one positive note is that even though it's been on a decline, Texas is doing great. So back to you guys at the desk.
In 2 weeks, spring break will start for all university students. And if you would like to know about the hottest destinations for the upcoming break, Triple has a compiled list of the best destinations for your vacation. Florida seems to be hit this year with cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Tampa making the top 10 list for the beautiful beaches. If you're more of a city person, New York and Chicago may be the better bet for you. And if you would like to go overseas, popular tourist locations such as Rome, Barcelona, and Madrid are listed as being the best yet again. Keep in mind, though, if you plan on flying to going to the cost of the average price for spring break, ticket cost is $820 for domestic flights and more than $1,400 for the international flights. So make sure you have your money and plan accordingly to make the spring break cherishable.
There is no question that the business environment is a difficult one, and in some professions it can be even harder, especially if you are a woman. Peshard Parker, 5-time Emmy Award-winning journalist, was on the UNT campus recently as a part of a panel on women in the media, and ntTV reporter Aaliyah Burdo was the first there to get the story.
I hear that Denton is doing something lovely for this February. I went out there to go see how you can go out and help other people during this month of February.
The Share the Love Drive is not a new thing to come to Denton, but Ms. Kristen, director of the UNT Collab, says that this year the goal is to get more people to know about it.
Share the Love is a drive that is sponsored through the Denton Main Street Association, where members of businesses and nonprofits are partnered together to share the love during February.
All across downtown Denton, many familiar businesses are working with different organizations. Go to dentonmainstreet.org to see the full list for this February.
So for the UNT Collab, we are partnered with the food pantry on campus, and we are a drop-off location as well as the free play place on the square. They are also a drop-off location for the UNT food pantry. We are looking for canned goods, dried goods, products that are shelf-stable.
The drive is not just limited to food, but unopened hygiene products are also needed.
Especially like the sample size ones are really good for us to give out because that way if they don't have a lot of space, they don't have to carry around like a big old shampoo bottle, and we're able to give that out to more students.
As an added bonus at the UNT Collab, if you do bring canned goods, we will give you a coupon that's good for 20% off one item.
The UNT Collab is open from Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. The UNT Food Pantry is open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But even after the Share the Love Drive is over in February, you can still donate here during operation hours. I donated a can and I got myself a coupon and a sticker. For ntTV News, I'm Alicia Palacios. According to Ms. Wheeler, the food pantry serves about 700 students per week, so there's no such thing as too much to donate. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alicia. Krista, did you watch the dunk contest this past weekend?
Yes, I did. The Magic to let Mick McCollum play some NBA minutes. He is carrying the contest.
I know that poor guy. Well, I've heard there's a lot going on in the sports world right now, so let's send it over to our sports anchor, Jackson Berry, to fill us in. Jackson?
Thanks, you guys. When we come back, there's a lot to cover. A former NFL player had to be forcefully removed from a meeting by police over something to do with a library. And UNT men's basketball has been on a roll, and we've got some breaking news over Victor Wembanyama. Stay tuned.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have two traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
A former Minnesota Vikings punter, Chris Kluwe, found himself in some hot water Tuesday when he was arrested for speaking out against a plaque being displayed at a library. The plaque in question is meant to commemorate the library's 50th anniversary. However, inscribed on the plaque is the phrase, "Making America Great Again." Kluwe was given the chance to speak to Huntington Beach, California City Council on how he thinks the plaque is divisive. After his speech, he refused to leave, stating he was engaging in an act of peaceful civil disobedience. Police were forced to physically carry Kluwe out of the meeting and held him in custody for hours. Kluwe's attempts were not successful, and the council unanimously voted to approve the plaque. UNT has been balling. The men's basketball team came up with another big win in a 63-44 win over Tulsa on Wednesday at the Super Pit that gave UNT a boost in what it hopes will be another championship push. Malay Sissoko posted a double-double that included a career-high 27 points and 11 rebounds. But Malay wasn't the only one out there putting up numbers. Senior guard Matthew Stone became UNT's all-time winningest player as well. He's been a part of 94 wins during his UNT tenure, passing former UNT guard Reuben Jones. That Mean Green now sit at 19-6, and the record is 19-6, and the locker room vibes are really good right now. If they can continue this sort of production, playoffs are surely in their sights. The Mean Green will be taking on South Florida on the 23rd and look to make that win column an even 20. Now, even though the Mean Green have been balling, a certain ex-Dallas Maverick has been struggling a bit these last few games. Luka Doncic, who was ripped away from us by Nico Harrison, only managed to put up 14 points in a loss to an underdeveloped Hornets team. He turned the ball over 6 times and was only 1 for 9 from three-point range. This performance was coming off the back of multiple other weak showings by the Slovenian, who looks to be incredibly rusty coming off his calf injury. Now, Luka Doncic will be taking on his former team in just 5 days at the Staples Center, and I'm not so sure he's going to be looking rusty then. Luka magic is real, and it seems that these performances may be due to some simple growing pains while adjusting to a new team. Or maybe he's homesick, who knows. And also, there's some breaking news regarding Victor Wembanyama that just happened a few minutes ago. He has been ruled out for the rest of the season due to a blood clot in his right shoulder. Now, that's all the information we have right now, so make sure you guys tune in to the later show so we can fill you in. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Food scientists say they have created a new method to make the perfect taste and texture for a boiled egg.
That's great. Boiled eggs are so hard to get right now. I don't want them to be too dry or too runny.
Well, I definitely agree, but I'm not sure I have enough patience for this new method. It's because the eggs need to be cooked at a different temperature. The method is known as a periodic cooking, and it takes about 32 minutes to complete. The eggs has to be moved from boiling water to lukewarm water every 2 minutes. The swap has to be repeated 8 times. That leads to the egg whites and egg yolks being cooked at the same time. Scientists say this makes the ideal texture and retains the most nutrition. The studies on this method was posted February 6th in the journal Communications Engineering.
Hopefully we can all learn from this and make the perfect boiled eggs.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon. Join us again at 6 here on North Texas Television.